Hiya folks, JD here.
So here we go, the dreaded ferry. Well, saying that, we had a great flight from her when she was just flying on Wi-Fi. Didn't have any problem there whatsoever with her. So I thought today I would take her back up and see exactly what we've got. And see if a whole flight on Wi-Fi is as good. Honestly, I think it is. I think it is going to be. I don't think there's going to be that much of an issue with it at all today. But at the same time, there's only one way to find out, isn't there? And that is to actually take her up and see exactly how she goes. So let's stand back. Let's take her up. Now she's currently running in optical mode. No GPS satellites. I'm hoping that as I'm flying her, she's going to be picking up those satellites and actually doing something about them. So I'm going to turn these into, there we go, into nice little joysticks for me to use. And this is what we have. She's up and she looks nice. The optical flow sensor's working nice. 7 GPS satellites is what we've just picked up. You know, she seems to work extremely well when she's on Wi-Fi. But at the same point, it doesn't matter. You should really have her working nicely on the transmitter as well. You know, but at the same time, there we are. She's just kicked over to GPS, 13 satellites. And now automatically you can see her movements aren't as jerky. They're a little bit nicer. And okay, she's in slow mode. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into the settings and I'm going to put her on, this is sensitivity setting, advanced. And see exactly how far she goes then, see what we have. That's better. That's better, little fairy. Now we're still on GPS, 14 satellites is what we've got, and we've, you know, been flying for a lot longer than what we have been for quite a while. You know, sorry, what I'm trying to say is we've been flying longer now than what we have at any point on the transmitter. I just started recording video, so now she's doing multiple things, recording video, flying GPS, and hopefully is not going to have any problem in, there we are. So if I stop her there, she's facing against the sun, she's holding herself quite nicely. GPS 16 satellites, little bit of wallow, nothing too spectacular. All in all though, seems to be handling herself really quite nicely. Now this sun has really turned into a proper winter sun, so I'm sorry, there's going to be a lot of glare, and there's going to be quite a few times where there's going to be quite a few dark patches. But at the same time, I hope it doesn't detract too much from the video. 80% battery, so we've dropped 20% from when we first took her up, and that battery life is still going down. Keep your eyes on the battery meter and see exactly how far how quickly we drop this battery. Look at that though. Let's see what that looks like. That looks great. So, oh, she stopped recording as well. So if I turn her to take photos, no, there we go. Let's take a few photos of that beautiful coloration on the trees in front. Let's turn it back into video and get some video going. But still, you know, we've been flying, maybe with photos I was taking, not video. But it doesn't matter, you know, at the end of the day, we're up, we're flying. She seems to be flying quite nicely, very slowly. But again, you know, those brushless motors sound fantastic. The movements of her are very nice, but I just want this on the transmitter more than anything. I want to take her a bit of range, get those motors actually bedded in, get some proper flight out of her. You know, I mean, the Wi-Fi, yeah, it's fine, it's doing its job, it's doing what it should be doing, but it doesn't matter. This copter is capable of so much more. You know, but at the same time, hopefully, I mean, it has been a week or so between me recording this and it actually hitting the channel. So in that time, maybe there's been a firmware update, maybe there's been something that will actually enable us to fly this properly. Still 16 satellites, 75% battery now. You know, but again, I'm just flying around and she's flying beautifully on this. But it doesn't take away from the fact that it should be flying like this on transmitter. But it proves one thing, it proves that she can do it. You know, it's just, you've got to iron out that firmware. iron out that firmware, iron out the bugs, spend a bit of time before you release it, spend a bit of time, get everybody to test it internally, and then once you've tested it and once your findings from 3, 5, 7, 10, 15, 20, 40 flights are the same, then test it some more and keep on testing it until you are sure that when it actually goes out to a real world like this, it's going to work and you haven't got to rely on a subpar transmitter in order to actually work it properly. Now, I don't know if there's a deer in front of me here. Something just ran across there. Let's see. Mr. Simtoo, can you find out what's down there for me? Let's see. I can hear a cracking of branches working its way. It was here, and I think I was so loud that whatever was there, something darted across there as well. Very small, low to the ground. It could have been a house cat, but at the same time, let's investigate. This is why we've got a quad with a good camera. Okay, let's balance her there. Let me just check there's nobody that I've seen come into the field. I know, she's holding herself beautifully, really holding herself well, really got that nice angle, really got that nice camera looking down, just recording everything that it sees. Again, I've got good signal, not that I would know it because it doesn't show me on here, only shows me GPS. But look at her, holding herself beautifully. You know, really, really nice. And this is what we get out of a nice quad. I mean, brushless motors, nice 1080p camera, 720 on smartphone, you know, when you're not using an SD card. You know, a really nice optical lens. At the same time, it's just such an annoying copter because I've not been able to use it on the controller yet. When I do, folks, this is all you're going to see hitting the channel is this. I'm just going to rag this thing until it blows up. But yeah, until actually that comes to the channel, there's not really much we can do but other than fly it as we are. And honestly, it flies damn well. It's not as fast, nowhere near it. You're not really putting those brushless motors to use, not at all. But at the same time, it's working well, working very well. And yeah, you know, this is the crazy thing about it, is that if it's 60% battery as well, folks, by the way, if it flew, even if it was this slow on a controller, on a transmitter, I would have turned around and said, you know what, it's nice, it's good, because it's smooth. We know return to home works, GPS works, optical flow works, that camera works, brushless motors are beautiful. We've seen it when it has been attached to the controller, and I have just pushed it forward. We've seen it dip and really go. This thing is capable of so much, and under 250 grams, you know, it doesn't get better than that. But unfortunately, the execution, that's where it fails. But let's sort of those firmware bugs, folks. Let's get it back. Let's update it and let's get everything working. Then I'm going to have a week-long Simtoo ferry. A week, that's it, 8 videos of Simtoo ferry. Me just going crazy with the damn thing. But yeah, it's just so nice. 52% battery. I mean, I have got full confidence in flying her on here, just because we've been flying her now. I've been recording video directly. No, I don't mean screen recording, I mean recording raw video for 5 minutes and 31 seconds. And, you know, she hasn't landed. She hadn't landed at all through any of this. She's been up and she's been working. You know, once the connection medium alters and you go directly onto controller, onto transmitter, that's what you get, you know. You get something then that isn't as good. It's nowhere near as good. You know, we know we can fly it without an app. We saw that a couple of days ago. We know that we can fly it, or a couple of weeks ago, or however long. We flew it without an app on the controller. Same thing happened. You know, we flew her on the controller with an app. Same thing happened. We flew her on Wi-Fi, and you get flight. That's the difference. You get flight. And we're at 45% battery. 6 minutes and 23 recording video. you know, when she's up, and when she's only halfway up, she's goddamn useless. But there we are, lights are flashing at the back, low battery, even though it says 43%. There's still a lot of kinks to work out. If I can just show you that flashing LED at the back. There we are. I don't know how well you can see it. Let me bring it down. I'm not going to get too close to those brushless motors, but see there? Little flashing blue LED. So let's take it back. According to this, we're at 40% battery. But it doesn't matter. I'm going to do what it says because it's given us a nice flight. It has. It's given us a nice flight. So yeah, that's what we got. That's what we got. Hover it over the pad. It's moving a little bit as the optical flow sensor just realigns everything. Let's move my tripod. Sorry, Mr. Tripod, you're always in the way. Let's hover over here. The wind's starting to pick up a little bit now. Let's hover over here and then let's land her. And I'm just going to move her directionally just so that she goes back over the pad. It doesn't matter because she's going to move herself off anyway. But there we go. Let's stop screen recording. Second flight, proved. Wi-Fi, brilliant. Needs a transmitter. I'm not going to stop doing this, folks, until we get a transmitter that actually works. Firmware update, that's what it's all about. Let's get those firmware updates, start pushing them through, or get in touch with people that you've looked on, or that you've looked at people's videos on YouTube and contact them and see if they'll be beta testers for you and feed them the new firmware that you're developing, if you are developing any. I will happily volunteer for that. You can use this as a development machine as long as it means that everybody else can fly theirs properly. That's quite warm. Wow. Back of the battery here, that's quite warm. You know, again, when she's up, using it as a little aerial assault vehicle to look through exactly what we've got over there, brilliant, no problem. I just hope one day, folks, they're going to fix it. Alright then, folks, thanks ever so much for watching and listening. I've been JD, you've been fantastic as always. If you haven't already, please like and subscribe. Hello and welcome to all the new subscribers. I hope you're enjoying the channel. So until next time, my friends, happy flying.